Hey, welcome back to the Breaking Bad Insider Podcast. My name is Kelly Dixon. We're here to talk about episode 310, and it's called Fly. I'm here with my executive producer, Vince Gilligan.
Greetings.
I'm here with the star of our show, Bryan Cranston.
Hello. Oh.
The director of this show, of this episode, is Ryan Johnson.
Hello.
And last but not least, our visual effects supervisor, Matt Beck.
Howdy.
When you and Melissa got in touch with me, it was actually during the second season that you guys first touched base with me. I wanted to do it. I couldn't do it because we were going in to shoot the second movie that we made, The Brothers Bloom, and but luckily you guys got in touch with me for season 3 or season 3, and by that time I had watched season 2, and I was a huge fan of the show, and so I was so excited that you guys hadn't forgotten about me.
In television, structurally, the directors are set months and months ahead of time before the scripts are even written. So it's just a crapshoot, really, to know what story, what script you're going to get. You know what slot you're in about when you're working, but you don't know what the storyline's going to be.
No, I didn't know until I think it was just a few weeks before that I got like an early draft of it.
So too, when you first got the script, it must have...
It really threw me for a loop, especially because I got the outline first, and in an outline form, it's even odder in a way because you don't have all the dialogue. But there was a real appeal to just how concentrated it was to just be working with you and Aaron, and just to be able to focus everything on that. I don't know. It was an interesting challenge.
Yeah, from an acting standpoint, it after reading it, it just really felt like a 2-character play.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's more freeing to say, all right, here's where I have to work in, and now how can I make that interesting? And when I look at a script, I try to objectively find the places where there can be humor. I mean, certainly Walter White has no idea that he's funny in any regard.
That's what makes him funny.
And so there can't be any consciousness of that.
Vince, you can talk about a little bit about the YouTube little section that you were watching, the way we cut our teaser.
It's beautiful footage. This gentleman who shot it himself very graciously let us buy the rights to use it, and it's an amazing teaser. And it was the one thing of this episode that one thing of probably any episode and one teaser that we didn't actually shoot the footage.
Dang.
Speaking of flies,
yes,
that was the thing that I was most curious about, because we had some practical flies on the set, which means real flies, but we didn't really...
Well, they weren't real. They were little model flies. The thing is that there are these tiny little movements that we ended up adding that made it much more credible. Because when the thing is, you see a little glint, that fly had shiny wings, and sometimes you'd see a little glint and it wouldn't move at all.
Yeah.
And after just, even a second, you're thinking, that's not a real fly.
So did you use the practical fly we had there as basically a tracking mark, erase it, and put in the digital one
Pretty
in most
much,
cases?
yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah. The thing is, you're going to be putting something in the space that isn't there. So we just have basically a shiny silver ball that you take a picture of, and it makes a reflection that shows it shows the entire environment that something sitting there would be experiencing in terms of lighting. And that's the first thing that we use when we light the fly.
Because I think I had been imagining the fly as this more menacing presence and this kind of, and I was describing this, and you said, well, what we really want the focus of it to be is Walt. And maybe that speaks a little bit to why hopefully it worked without any of the effects at all, is because it was all Bryan. And
it was drama. It was all Bryan and Aaron. It was just it was wonderful drama.
It's like, there's a classic thing where the actor doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know where the Tyrannosaurus Rex is. Well, he knew exactly where the fly was the whole time, or seemed to, and so that guided us and made it so much easier.
The fall, where Walt falls from the upper part of the lab onto that big vat and then to the ground, that is a stunt man. I guess you designed the shot to where the camera was basically, it was just going to be eventually one shot. It looked like it was one shot, and a stunt man fell and then got up and moved away, and Bryan went and got in the position, and then we move in close on Walt with the fly landing on his glasses.
And it was Ed Duran who made that fall for me as my stunt double.
I mean, when he falls down and he lands on, I'm assuming it's cement, it just is painful.
Yeah. This episode is what is called a bottle episode in the business, in the TV business. And we needed to do an episode that took place in one location essentially and save a chunk of money and make up for a lot of overages. So then the question is, if you got an episode you got to shoot in one major location, you better have good actors, and you better have a good script, and you better have a good director. And we had all three.
Well, thanks everybody for listening, and let's go break bad.